Here's an update on the K10. Decided to use one of the old doors. This was the original door, but it didn't line up to the cab at all. I guess somebody pulled on it or whatever, but it didn't line up, so I used the other door and that one lines up perfect. So I use this as my parts door. So I got a base coat of paint on the firewall so I can find the defects in it and go back over it. There's still a couple of flaws to it. At least now I have a way to sand it and know where the highs and lows are, but it's somewhat getting there. The bottom of it is undercoated. I got the floors all undercoated. I used the Rust-Oleum bed liner, but the dash I think looks the best. Has a nice little bit of tan to it. I still got to do the other pieces. So working on wet sanding the body filler. Here's the cab corner. You can see it's pretty close to being the same as far as the top half and the bottom half of it. So a little bit more sanding on it. I gotta wait till I have the door on before I can finish sanding down the gap for the door. But I got a little bit of that done. The back, there was a rust hole, so I welded another piece there and doing the body filler on that. Wet sanding, it gets rusted, then dry sand it, get the rust out. A little bit of work on the door. The door was rusted for the passenger side, so I just cut out the piece that I needed and then welded it in there. Either way, it was bowed right in the middle when I was doing the test fitting on it, so I had a gap, but it was rusted. Even not counting the rust, it still had a gap. It stretched all the way over to here, so I took a straight edge, ran a straight edge across, and found out where it was at the closest amount, and then I just cut that whole piece out, and then I'll weld that piece into there. Fuel doors are deleted. Driver's side fuel door is out. That's from the using the passenger door as my metal because it already has a curve in it, and it matches the bed of the truck perfectly. It's just held in with magnets, but it's easier to just have metal that's curved than to try to do the curve yourself. It saves a little bit of time. So that lines up. For the back, that holds the bed to keep it from, the bottom half of it from vibrating around. On the front, you got these posts, and on the back, what used to be metal holding it there. So I went into my scrap pile because I didn't throw all my scrap out. And these are the radiator support rods from a Firebird. I'll end up cut them in half. The hole is big enough for the bolt that's up in there to screw into there, and then I will put a hole there and run another bolt so it'll look just like the front, and it gets rid of this rusted piece and I don't have to make it. And I'll have to make these little pieces. But this will be where the new fuel door is going to be. That's where the old one was, so I just cut out the whole thing. That's the door sheet metal. Weld that in there. Hopefully it doesn't go warping like crazy, but I'm sure there'll be some defects. And then, kind of like a Suburban. My buddy has a Suburban, and it's a little bit longer. So his fuel door is there. So I ended up making it more centered. On both sides of it, there's two rails. I'll notch the rail with some round tubing, probably like a 3-inch round tubing. We'll notch it. I'll weld that notch in there. Then the filler neck itself is like 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and it actually comes out right there for the Suburban tank. So it'll come out and then go and then come up and be right there. So that solves the issue for a fuel door and filling up the Suburban tank. I've already test fitted the tank in the frame. That makes it easy. I know where it's going. It's just a matter of making up some brackets. But the Suburban tank sits there, and then the filler neck ends up being right at the top of the curve. So kind of all this is all fuel tank. But I guess for the two saddle tanks. I guess you can't really see it, but bottom of it's all bed lined. You got the steps are welded in there. There are 2 welds on the top and then 3 on the bottom. I'd rather they broke off than bent anything, but they're on there. You can jump up on them. That holds it to that and sticks it out away from the rocker panel itself. That's it. That's as far as I got. I think the interior is going to look good with the dash like that. It's going to be all black interior, all the kick panels, everything's going to be black. This is all going to be black still. The only thing that's going to be tan is there, and I'm thinking where you have the pull strap for the door, that trim piece, I may paint that tan so it's a tan stripe and then comes across the dash. I'll just have to see how it lines up. But, that's the update.